Welcome, everybody. My name's John Regan. I work here at the port. I'm Director of Policy and External Affairs. We have the mayor with us, who will introduce himself and do a little brief overview of what we're going to do today. And Jen, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Jen Downing. I'm the Executive Director of the Bedford Ocean Cluster. After the mayor speaks and John provides a little context about the port, I'm going to share some information about the Bedford Ocean Cluster and what we do here to support business development.
So I'm going to play you a brief 3-minute video, kind of like a welcome video, and then the mayor will take over. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
The Port of New Bedford is the #1 fishing port in America and supports a unique blend of industrial, commercial, and recreational opportunities.
Right behind me lies the Port of New Bedford, one of the busiest, most interesting and unique ports in the United States. It's the preeminent commercial fishing port in America at the center of the commercial fishing industry on the East Coast.
The Port of New Bedford is ideally located geographically to support our home ported and transient commercial fishing vessels, as well as the emerging offshore wind industry. It is also fully equipped with all of the shoreside services that both of those industries depend on. But the port's greatest asset lies with the people and the workforce that make it such a historic and close-knit community.
The Port of New Bedford is the city's greatest natural resource and supports new and old businesses alike, attracting a variety of industries from the commercial fishing industry to cargo transport and offshore wind development.
Port of New Bedford's a busy place, and we continue to deploy our resources to make infrastructure upgrades and improvements throughout the port. You can see behind me our new North Terminal construction project. In addition, in recent years, we've seen well over $200 million in public and private investment to modernize the port and prepare it for the rest of the 21st century.
And here in the Port of New Bedford, you can expect city government to work hand in glove with your business. And we pride ourselves on being able to fast-track permitting, whether it's marine permitting or municipal permitting.
We're continuing to seek out new opportunities and foster new industries that can take advantage of the assets of the Port of New Bedford. We also partner with colleagues at the state and federal levels and at locations such as the School of Marine Science and Technology at UMass Dartmouth, which is a hugely important port asset and a leader in applied research on marine science and technology. We're constantly trying to find ways to continue the economic growth, job creation, and overall economic activity that the port drives.
The port is also a foreign trade zone, which provides duty-free manufacturing opportunities for importers and exporters. We aspire to lead the way for science, technology, research, and development for the maritime industry.
As much as we are an old-time fishing port, we are also on the cutting edge, not only of green energy, but also in new business and technology.
It's an exciting time here at the Port of New Bedford as we continue to leverage the working waterfront assets that have been developed over the decades. The coming years are going to bring more change and more modernization as we drive economic growth and activity for the city, the state, and the region.
The Port of New Bedford gives you a gateway to endless possibilities for your business and its potential. Your success is important to us and our community, and we look forward to working with you.
All right, well, there it is. We figured we'd start with that, just because the pictures are really pretty. It's some good drone shots in there, and so I figured that in case like lunch was settling in for you guys and eyes are glazing over, that would might perk everybody up. My name is John Mitchell. I'm the mayor of New Bedford, and I figured today I'd come by and say a few words, because I know you guys are doing some great work in your states, and I wanted just to talk a little bit about what we're doing here, and then I'm going to turn it over to John again. And then to Jen to get into a little more detail about our approach. So just for my own curiosity, are you guys, so some of you are elected officials, like pretty much everybody, state legislators for the most part. Good. And which states, I saw the states that are represented, so Rhode Island, Maine, Maryland, Georgia.
North Carolina. Oregon.
North Carolina. Where?
Oregon.
Oregon, really? You win the prize. No?
Said the same thing to her.
Oh, I was wondering if there's somebody from Hawaii or Alaska.
I think I have another color hat I can give you.
The winner's hat.
Yeah, Yeah. So, well, welcome everybody. It's really great to see you all here, and I wish, when I travel, like the U.S. Conference of Mayors, is usually like a beverage service that comes through at some point. You have to be able to arrange for that. That's my feeling. But there's a lot going on here, and I hope our experience is at least instructive to some of your efforts back home. The place I'd start is this, and because this is an audience of elected officials, I just made a little bit about myself. I'm from here originally. I grew up in the west end of New Bedford and North Dartmouth, the suburbs of the west of the city. And I've been a career federal prosecutor in Washington and then in Boston for many years. But I wanted to come back for really the same reasons I suspect like you ventured into elected office, and that is because I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to go back home and make a difference in real ways and constructive ways that were tangible and visible to people back home. And I'm very proud to be from here and to be very rooted here. And so, and my job affords me the opportunity to actually improve people's lives, right? Just every day you get up, you have an opportunity to make somebody's life better. And so that's what enervated me to run for office. I will add one other thing that is relevant to our presentation, and that's this. As much as I'm a homer here and I care about the city and I'm as parochial as they come, as every mayor should be, I also saw this as a really a challenge with a high degree of difficulty, right? So New Bedford is an older industrial city in the United States that is not part of a major metro, right? You guys in every one of your cities, right? Atlanta, DC for sure, Portland. I mean, as you go around the country, and Boston here in New England, they're superstar cities, and they have reaped the spoils of the American economy in the last 20 years, 30 years or so. There are a lot of cities in the United States, and you may represent some of them that aren't part of, that haven't been fully part of that American economy, right? The places that don't have like major research institutions or major international airports and all those assets that businesses these days look for. So capital tends to flow away from us, not toward us, and that means has lots of implications for job creation and all that. So in undertaking our work here and embarking on my time in office, what I tried to do is to say, look, it doesn't have to be that way in New Bedford. If we play our card, we have some cards to play, and if we play them well, we can create jobs, we can create a better life for people. It's not easy though. We hustle for everything, and we really work together, and we're at it all the time. And so our work fundamentally is premised on the idea that, as the song goes, you accentuate the positive and you eliminate the negative. We build on our competitive advantages. And so as much as we'd love to have you name it, a new AI company set up shop in our downtown and grow and flourish and create jobs, that's not where we devote our energy, right? We don't go for the sort of the shiny thing that's out there in economic development circles. We build on what we do well and make it even a greater advantage for us. So in New Bedford, as the video suggested, it's the water, right? This is the biggest fishing port in America. It's also the biggest center for seafood processing. And because of that, there is a real cluster here to build on, not just in those industries, not just in those sectors, but related sectors. And whether that's an offshore wind, and you'll get a glimpse of some of that work being done down at the Bedford Marine Commerce Terminal, but also marine tech and cargo, recreational, that runs the gamut. So that's the idea. Like, we've got the seafaring workforce here that is without peer in the United States. There's a lot of folks here who know what they're doing on the water, and it's been that way for generations. You have a lot of great infrastructure. You have proximity to resources, whether it's fish or wind or other. And we have a city government that's pretty well aligned with the interest of business. So that's what we drive here. So John will go into a little more detail, but at a very high level, our strategy is to sort of start from the ground up. In the last, if you want to flip that slide up, John. So in the last, there's one slide, this is my one slide deck. All right, John's working on that, but the idea is that we start from the ground up. I like to cite, so we like to cite, I would like to cite Michael Porter, who's a Harvard Business School professor who is sort of best known for cluster theory, right? And with business clusters, you build on something and you turn it into advantages that are in related industries, including technology. So for us, it's building from the ground up. Rebuilding the industrial foundation of the port has been very, very important. So what you've seen here, all these projects together add up to about $1.2 billion of private as well as public investment from government at every level, especially state and federal. And the reason we've been very successful in landing a lot of federal dough and building really quickly because of certain advantages we have. And I won't go into too much detail about this, but New Bedford Harbor has the dubious distinction of being America's first marine Superfund site. It's been the subject of one of the largest cleanups in American history. It's full of PCBs. And as a Superfund site, it's not like our best selling point, right? But there's a silver lining, and the silver lining is this: in the Superfund law, there's a provision that's generally referred to as the state enhanced remedy, which says, in effect, that if you constrain contaminants to a degree that is, to a greater degree than is required under federal law, under the Superfund law, you can, in building that project that constrains those contaminants, you can skip all kinds of permitting, NEPA, Clean Water Act, all that stuff. And so what that has allowed us to do is to build a lot of stuff without the ordinary permits that take years to secure. So we have been rapidly modernizing that, coupled with the availability of funding that we've been very aggressive about pursuing. We've been able to rebuild so much of this port. A lot of the funding went to the cleanup of the harbor, but also follow-on berth dredging, as well as the construction of the facilities. And you'll see some of the cranes out there now. The work is still going on. So this has been one of our biggest selling points. We have totally made over what is one of the busiest fishing port in America that also does other stuff. And so building on top of that, we've done a number of other things. So some of the things that we've focused on is sort of giving us we need the institutional capacity to drive business development. That's why we created the New Bedford Ocean Cluster, which is a nonprofit that Jen heads up, whose job it is to do all the things that economic development agencies do, like the business-to-business connections and the marketing and sort of promotion of every sense, making sure that people have what they need within our cluster that is the Port of New Bedford. Building workforce programs. You're going to go to the National Offshore Wind Institute, which was recently built by our community college, Bristol Community College, which is America's first devoted, purpose-built facility for offshore wind training. And we've been very aggressive also at advocacy. So offshore wind and fishing, for that matter, have their fortunes are dictated to a great degree by policy decisions at both the state and the federal level. So we've had to stay engaged with that, and we've also had to be engaged with industry as well. We're there. Jen often is like the only American city at European offshore wind conferences. They all know New Bedford, and so we want them as that industry finally settles down here. Whenever that happens, they're going to be settling down here, and that's the thrust of our work. The other thing I'll just add is a lot of the work of the MBOC and all of us, including the Port Authority, has been on just allowing this place to be understood for what it is, which is one big incubator. The fishing industry has thrived here because of a whole lot of innovation going all the way back to the 20s. And there's just a lot of guys out there on the water who are very practical, who, as we say here, they don't fish for fish, they fish for dollars, right? So they're understanding how to do that efficiently is really important, but that also translates into a sensibility here that, you know, if you're open to change, if we're open to new ideas and doing things a little bit different, if we can make some more money doing that, then that leads to some other good stuff. So we're at a point now where we've developed programs that are allowing for more marine science to take root here in a place, I will hasten to add, that doesn't have a whole lot of higher ed. This is, I mean, people think of Massachusetts and think, well, it's just all those colleges and universities here. Not in this part of the state. So that's one of our challenges, frankly. And it's a challenge of any city that's similarly situated. It's like how do you do that kind of work? How do you develop new technology in a place that doesn't have like MIT next door? So that's a big part of what we do is we try to build on the network of businesses that are already here, that are already innovating, and to be a place where things can get tested and deployed readily. So if somebody's got a great idea, they can make it, they can put it to the test here. That's the idea. So we think that having this sort of this cauldron, this stew of marine businesses and stakeholders, that will yield something in the long run for us to be able to sort of evolve as time goes on, as the global economy changes, that we'll be, you know, keeping up with it and actually growing. So that's how we approach it. So what we hope is, I'll just put a bow on it by saying this, not every city can pull this off, not every city that is sort of, you know, set the fall behind the rest of the, you know, the real thriving cities in America has those cards to play. But we've got some, and we're trying to make the most of it, and that's, you know, and the results have been, you know, we've had some really significant organic growth here, and now we want to continue to build on that. For all the reasons that you guys are doing the work you do, it's just a great opportunity for the people you serve. So that's, I'll leave it with that. But, and yeah, I just want to make sure that you guys will make sure you guys get my contact information. If I can be helpful to you at all, let us know. I want to make sure that you know, if there's anything that you can take away from this, you get the full benefit of it. So thanks for listening. I'm going to turn it over to John just to go through some a little more detail, and then to Jen to do the same. Hopefully it'll be good for you. Thank you.